right. Say welcome, everybody, to the Week 5 preview.
Welcome, everybody, to the Week 5 preview.
Yeah, all right. So, welcome, everybody. Week 5 is here. Last week, when I was doing the preview, I was a little down on football. The Bills had won, which was great, but everything else in football had gone wrong for me as far as fantasy and FanDuel, and it was a rough week.
So who do we have today?
We're not there yet. Daddy's got to do his little thing first, right?
What
Little pitter patter.
What is that?
It's where Daddy just rambles. Nobody really listens, but they're the
Daddy.
only people that have to listen to me.
Daddy,
Yeah.
something this was cute.
Yeah, that was just something. Somebody sending a message. All right. Anyway, so I was a little down on football last week, and fantasy and FanDuel wise and all that stuff. The last second loss to Zach on Monday Night Football was a rough one. This week, I love football again. Not only did the Bills just destroy the Dolphins, sorry, not sorry, Marissa, but just absolutely obliterate them. But everything else that could have gone right for me went right. The Giants game is as big a disaster as that was. I hit two different bets, two different parlays on that game. We had the Jets loss, which led to a couple of winning bets for me, Rob and Irving. Thank you, guys. I won a bet on the Bills-Dolphins game with a Dolphins fan at work. What else do we have? My fantasy teams were 4-0 last week. It was I was the winner this week for the highest score. So $25 in my pocket. It was the chef's kiss of football week. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of that and allowing for that to happen. Now, here's how the turntables, right?
Right.
It can only go down from here. Anybody who watches any movies or shows knows that once the characters reach that moment of happiness,
Who do we have today?
Will you wait a minute? You're all business all the time. We know that the other shoe's got to drop, so I'm preparing myself for a bad week coming up. I'm sure I'm in for some fantasy heartbreak, and the Bills having to fly to London to play a team that's already there. It feels like a trap game. I'm nervous, but again, I'm always nervous, so it is what it is. But let's take a look at Week 5. Wanted to add something new to the preview this week. Not really going to do any recapping of last week's games. Carrie did a great job on that. Carrie did a great job on that. Not Rich. I don't know what happened to Rich, but Carrie stepped in for her husband and his terrible fantasy football team. Did his shot and did the recap. So props to you, Mrs. Minkler. So anyway, I'm sure you guys all saw LeBron James, who I know everybody in this chat is a big fan of, doing his weekly picks. So I thought maybe that's something we'll incorporate. Less recap. We already have a recap, and more previewing for the weekly picks this week. We don't have to go over the Thursday night game because the Thursday night game already happened. As you know, I'm a day late and $1 short thanks to a wedding yesterday. Shout out to my coworker Elisa and her husband Bobby. We had a great time at the wedding. Definitely wasn't upset about the DJ at all. That never happens to me. But in this case, the bride actually asked me to go up and request songs because she needed. Will you stop? And request some songs because she needed the mood changed at the wedding. So, I was told to do it this time around. All right, so on to the games. Let's take a look. So just real quick on Thursday night, last night, there wasn't much fantasy outside of the Lamar Jackson, DJ Moore combination, and DJ Moore and Justin Fields. I went to go look, and the person who has them on the same team. So shout out to Courtney for DJ Moore killing it last night. However, Justin Fields did not kill it for him because Justin Fields is currently on Courtney's bench. So he's probably good anyway with the game that DJ Moore put in, but we'll have to wait and see if the points come back to hurt him there. Nobody on the Redskins did anything. I know because I had Brian Robinson, and he scored less points than Antonio Gibson last night. So, we'll see. But not off to a promising start for pretty much everybody else in that game except for Courtney, who had DJ Moore. On to the real games. Let's take a look at Week 5. As far as fantasy goes, remember, this is the first week of bye weeks. So you have several teams on a bye, and you have to get those guys out of your lineups. And then just like last week, you got 9:30 a.m. football this week. And for me, obviously, very important game at 9:30 in the morning as the Bills are hosting Jacksonville. For anybody who cares, which I'm sure in this group is nobody, get a good look at the stadium the Bills are playing in, the Tottenham Stadium, because that is what the Bills' new stadium is modeled after. It's going to be a very similar setup to that. Again, nobody in this chat outside of me cares, but if you did care, that's what it is. We got a hell of a day of football. You got Jacksonville at Buffalo to start it off. Who's winning that game?
Bills.
Bills are winning that game. I'm very confident. I'm never confident in any guy. I mean, when we play the Jets, clearly with good reason, I'm not confident. So,
So who's gonna win the Falcons?
And the Texans?
Yeah.
So it's Houston at Atlanta. Who do you like in that game?
The Texans.
The Texans are playing pretty good football right now. C.J. Stroud looks like maybe the best quarterback in that draft. I mean, it's amazing. It's extremely small sample size. But Stroud and Richardson look so much better than Bryce Young in the early going. Again, very small sample size. But right now, Houston and Indianapolis have to feel pretty good about their quarterback decisions. And I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it was in the sports chat. I said, imagine if Richardson and Stroud both end up being studs. The AFC quarterbacks are just ridiculous. I mean, if you had like Mac Jones as your quarterback, you might as well just start over and do it all over again because you're not going anywhere in the AFC. Next game we got. Again, I agree with Will there. I'm going to go Houston in that game. Atlanta, I wish curses upon you because what you've done with Kyle Pitts and because what you've done with Kyle Pitts and Drake London, it's ridiculous. All right, next game we got Carolina at Detroit. Who you like?
Panthers.
The Panthers, you like?
Yeah.
I think the Lions are going to win that game at home. I'm a little worried about Amon St. Brown probably missing the game, but I feel like the Lions should handle that game. I'm just saying who's winning. I'm not even looking at betting odds right now. I'm just straight money line. All right, so we got a divisional matchup here. The Titans at the Colts.
The Titans.
I think the Titans. I think Vrabel wins that game based on experience, but it wouldn't shock me if the Colts win it there. All right, one that's important to a lot of people in this chat. Dolphins at Giants. Before you say who you think's going to win, who do we want to win?
The Giants.
Yeah, we're rooting for the Giants. Who do you think's going to win?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I would love for the Giants to pull off the upset, but I don't see how it's possible, especially in Miami. All right. Saints at New England. Who do we want to win that game?
Saints.
We definitely want the Saints to win that game. And I'm going to be pulling for the Saints, so I'm picking the Patriots because New Orleans is just a weird team that I don't think is very good. And I can't imagine after last week's embarrassing performance, the Patriots are going to stink it up 2 weeks in a row like that. So my heart hopes the Saints win, but if I were picking, which I am right now, I'm going New England. Who's your pick? Saints or Patriots?
Saints.
Saints? All right. Another big divisional matchup. Baltimore, the Ravens at Steelers. Ravens. They're the hot team right now. Hopefully, Pittsburgh's defense can slow them down. But again, if I'm a betting man, I'm going Baltimore, even at Pittsburgh there. So really good set of 1 o'clock games going. Now we have the 4 o'clock games. And as somebody pointed out on Twitter, great quad box for the 4 o'clock games. 4 games, quad box on NFL Ticket. Let's do it up. So, we got the Eagles at the Rams. Who you like?
Eagles.
The Eagles should win that game. The Eagles have not played their best football this year. They've only looked okay, but their okay is still good enough to be 4-0. So you got to figure one of these weeks they're going to put it together, and when they put it together, they're probably going to put a beat down on somebody. All right, Bengals at Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I would love for you to be right on that one. And the Cardinals, I've been very impressed with. They've played much better than anybody expected them to play. Despite being 1-3, their performance has been much better. However, Cincinnati's got to be in do or die time now already. I mean, this early in the season, they have to be. I gotta imagine Burrow and the Bengals are going to win that game. Again, I'd love to be wrong, but we'll see what happens. All right, another one that's important to a lot of people in this chat.
Yeah.
Jets at Broncos.
Broncos.
That's who we want to win. Who do you think's going to win?
The Jets.
You think the Jets? Okay. If the Jets lose this game, just quit. Just fold it up because Denver looks terrible. So, yeah, I'm picking the Jets in that game. Kansas City at the Vikings. Chiefs at Vikings.
Vikings.
I would love for the Vikings to win this game too. And you know what?
What?
I'm picking the Vikings. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, Kirk Cousins. You like that?
Yeah.
All right. Big Sunday nighter. Cowboys at 49ers.
49ers, because they killed them Steelers.
Because they killed the Steelers 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You won't let that game go. I think you're a closet 49ers fan.
Yeah.
I think you kind of like them. What are you going to do when the Bills play the 49ers in the Super Bowl?
I think the Bills doing that.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see the Niners get knocked off that perch a little bit, but I think that they're just a hot team right now. Dallas defense is really good. We'll see if they can stop the run enough to force Purdy to beat them. But I'm going Niners in that game. And then on Monday night, you got Packers at the Raiders. Who do we always root for in an NFC team versus an AFC team?
NFC team.
We always root for the NFC team. Very good. So
Who's the NFC team?
the Packers are the NFC team, and the Raiders are the AFC team.
So we really want the Packers.
So we want the Packers to win. All right. Talking about fantasy now. Let's take a quick look at where we are in the standings. Start playing the Three Stooges music for me. All right, where are we at? Standings. As we currently sit, Hung Like Hernandez is still at 4-0. It's beyond frustrating where Zach is in first place at 4-0. I am in 9th place, and I have scored, what? I have 40 more points than Zach, and he's got a 3-game lead on me. It's just, fantasy football is so stupid. So, Zach's in first, and then you go on to the 3-1 teams. Marissa is in first there. I think Marissa's the highest scorer in the league by a pretty sizable amount.
Phone call.
It's just Papa. We'll call him back. Marissa has got 654 points. In fact, she's the only person even over 600 points. So shout out to Marissa. She told everyone to move, and they've moved. So she's at 3-1. Larry's at second of the 3-1 team, so third place. Rob at 3-1 is the final 3-1 team there. And then our next two playoff teams right now, as it stands, at 2-2 would be Aaron and then Marcel. And then we're now out of the playoffs at 2-2. You've got JJ and Courtney. And then we're on to the 1-3 squads. You have me, followed by Tom Jessup, followed by Ken, and then Richie carrying the rear there at 0-4. Now to where ESPN final standing projections have us at the moment. let's take a look. Marissa was at 1. They've moved her back to 2. So ESPN seems to like or not like something about your team. Zach was at 2. They moved him up to 1. I'm assuming that's because Cooper Kupp is now back and playing. Rob went from 3 to 4. Tom Jessup went from 4 back to 10. Aaron from 5 back to 6. A lot of guys dropping this week. Me from 6 back to 9. 6, 9. JJ from 7 up to 5. They got Courtney holding steady at 8. They've got, let's see, straight cash, that is Marcel, 9 up to 7. And then Ken from 10 to 11. Richie from 11 to 12. And then Larry from 12 up to 3. So that is where they have us at the moment. Yeah, so I think that's our week 5 preview. Great day for football. You got, again, 9:30 in the morning straight till 11:30 at night. We'll be watching football, and we've got good games on Sunday. So enjoy the day. Yeah, go Bills. Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
No? Okay, good talk. Okay, so week 5 preview in the books. Let's go.